All right, we are back. Another week of Outside the Cinema. Your host, Bill and Chris here. We're here to talk about, I guess, future cult movies, even though we are your source for cult movie discussion, but we are now already getting deep into our 2025 catch-ups, which is, I mean, I always enjoy it, so I guess I shouldn't.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's nice to, do old shit all year and then be like, okay, I guess we'll watch some newer stuff. So, but this week, we have two films, one from very, very early in 2025. I think its U.S. release was like the beginning of January this past year, and I know it did film festivals last year.
Right.
I think actually
festivals
both
had
of
it
these,
at 24.
Yeah, I think both of these are in that world. But so we have The Damned, which is available on Hulu in the United States, and The Dead Thing, which is available on Shudder in the U.S. I do have to upfront, when we do the review for The Dead Thing, I didn't realize who the director was. Elric Kane, who I know. I know Elric very, no, I shouldn't say very well, but we were at some film festivals. He basically was one of the judges at Knoxville when Survival of the Film Freaks was there, and one of the main reasons we won the audience award. So I actually have skin in the game on this one, but I'm sure he will appreciate my honesty.
Good. It's nice. It's nice, branching out, meeting people.
Yeah. Elric's a good dude, so I got nothing bad to say about him. The movie, we'll see when we get to the review, but Chris, updates, Vectopia Arts, what's going on?
The selling shit seasons are coming really fast. So I think next week I'm gonna have like Black Friday announcement stuff.
Cool.
We'll do that. We gotta maybe figured out how to do coupon codes and shit. So there'll be a code just for people that listen to the show, because that's who's ordering stuff anyway.
Makes sense.
And we're going to, I hope, be able to drop the prices at least a reasonable amount so people can get the stuff. Yeah. Making money is nice, but it's also got to get out there. So it's this delicate balance of we need to pay the bills and please wear this. But we're also looking at a lot of other there's another site that we can get stuff linked to the Etsy store, and it has a different range of products. Excuse me, a little bit of soda this morning.
It's all right.
Breakfast of Champions, and
that's all right. I'm drinking the Breakfast of Champions also. The Core Power Complete Protein.
Yes, I think we're gonna go through the artwork, and we're gonna. This is gonna sound stupid, but to me it makes sense. So I have all the pop culture stuff and maybe political stuff that I do, and then also the little ghosts and guys. The ghosts and everything I want separate. I want that to be its own thing. So connected to the store, but not a part of that whole brand that we're trying to develop over there. We'll just put everything else. So most of the artwork I put up on Instagram and all that. We'll do stickers and buttons and all that, and we'll see what sells, because it only takes a few minutes to put the thing up there. Why not?
Right.
We don't have to invest in a huge amount of inventory, which is why everybody's doing it now. So it's awesome that way. But yeah, it'll also free me up to be able to, oh, hey, look at that thing that just happened. Well, here's a funny or not funny thing about it.
Cool.
Yeah, so We'll see. We don't have a name for it or anything, but we got so much other stuff, and then that can incorporate everything from all four of us a lot better. So that's where like the Jason pointing at you cartoon one would go, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me, dude.
Yeah, we're trying. The next biggest step is to like get spread out across the internet, because we're not good with that stuff. So my wife's going to go through and look for groups that kind of fit with what we do and join them and create a social presence, because we have to. And then we got to write the story based around this whole thing. So that's coming up after we log in and choose a whole new health insurance system with a brand new provider this year, because fucking hell, I hate this place.
Yep.
Not my job, not my house.
The country in general.
No, it's more of an abstract kind of controlling thing.
Okay.
I saw a guy, and then I'm going to stop because I'm not going to stop if I don't stop.
All right. Well, just cut yourself off, or tell me to cut you
I saw a
off.
guy arguing with news, radio, whatever podcast guy, and he wanted the guy to explain what was so bad about child rape.
Jesus.
Like,
this is a thing going on, man. Like, this is fucking ridiculous.
And the answer to what is so bad about child rape, the only answer to that is to remove the brain from their skull and show it to them.
I would have just gone with what is right. Everything is wrong with it.
Well, the proper response to that, what is wrong with you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's...
you follow that up. You follow that up with the video of Israeli civilians pounding on the gates of a prison, demanding to rape the women prisoners. So anyway, we're going to cover the dead thing today, and the damned. See how I changed the subject there? Because life is fucking miserable. Remember when we thought a Serbian film was like absurd and went too far?
I know, dude.
No, and I was telling you, I've seen headlines about that. I could find you 3 different stories of infants.
It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, all right, yeah, let's...
the world's disgusting.
Everything sucks.
So, like, we're going to lighten the mood. Let's lighten the mood with psychological horror.
I know. Buy Chris's shit. You can buy shit. Oh, actually, you can buy shit from me, too.
Yeah.
Kyle and I have our Depop store, Horror Finds, which...
Nice.
It's under Kyle's name, but him and I run it together. So if you just go to Depop and look up Horror Finds, we've got... how many listings we got? We got well over 100 shirts, hats, and hoodies and stuff listed. All kinds of stuff from old wrestling shirts, music shirts, bunch of different hats.
For people that don't know, you're talking. This is like vintage or collectible type of stuff.
Correct, sir. And we are currently running a sale that is buy 2 items, get 10% off when you buy 2 or more. Can create a bundle. There's a button there to create a bundle. But there's a lot of really cool stuff on here. There's a lot of wrestling shirts right now.
Nice.
A lot of our music shirts have sold in the last couple of weeks, but there's a ton of wrestling shirts, ton of hoodies, some sports hats, there's some Hawaiian shirts, there's some racing memorabilia. There's all kinds of stuff on here. But if you go to Depop.com and look up Horror Finds, Kyle and I run that store. Kyle will ship everything out very, very quickly too. And we'll have a Black Friday sale going too, but we're currently running a bundle deal where if you buy 2 more items, you get 10% off. And we actually just recently marked down a whole bunch of items too. So,
and the name of it is what again?
Horror Finds, HORRORFINDS. Okay. That's the username and that's the storefront. But yeah, we marked down a whole bunch of stuff. Like we've got this old school Walt Disney World t-shirt that is marked down to $12. $12 for that shirt. Right there. Come on.
What?
Whatever. Close enough.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
All right. But yeah, so yeah, buy stuff there. That's gonna help finance the next documentary, which we'll be announcing early next year. So
nice.
You can take a sip of my milkshake. It tastes like regret.
Does it?
Yeah. These ones aren't very good.
Oh, okay.
Core Power High Protein Milkshake. Yep, no, not a fan. Not a fan. Tastes like burning.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of burning, which do you have a preference on which one you want to do first?
Nah, we can do them in the order you watched them.
I watched the Dead Thing first, so that would be, I guess, the one.
That's the order I watched them.
All right then. I'm sure I've got a trailer here for it.
You ever feel like there's just no escape? It's the same day after day after day. The same soulless office, same people. It feels like you're doing something different. But as you fall asleep, you realize it's just the same day.
Alex? Kyle? We don't really need to talk, do we? I like you. I know I feel close to you. Have we met?
You don't remember me?
What, are you stalking me? When did we draw these?
You really don't know, do you? I don't know what's wrong with you.
We don't really need to talk, do we?
What happened?
Sorry I'm late.
It's been 9 days. You didn't show for over a week.
Is there something here?
What is wrong with you? What did you do?
See the darkness creeping in.
Stay away from me!
There's no sound. There's nothing. We don't really need to talk, do we?
Okay, The Dead Thing, exclusively currently on Shudder. This is a 2024 film festival run and then released to the wide public this year in 2025, starring Blue Hunt, Catherine Hughes, John Carna, and that's really all that matters. Oh, what's his name that was in the he was in the Scream TV series. He was there too.
No, I don't know.
All right, written and directed by Elric Kane. Elric is probably best known more so as a podcaster and a writer. He was one of the hosts of Shockwaves for a long time, and he's been on a bunch of other shows since then. If you're in the horror community at all, Elric is a name that you know, and you know he's a good dude. And like I said, I know the guy. It's been a little while since I've spoken with him, but he's a good guy. Helped Survival of the Film Freaks a lot. Good dude. And as far as I know, if I am not mistaken, this is like, I don't want to say it's his feature debut, but I want to say that it's one of, he's done like a lot of shorts.
Okay.
So let me just run through. So he worked as a producer a lot too, like because he was involved in so many places. So he would be like a guy that would come in and help out. But looking as a director, Dead Thing. And then he worked as a director on some podcasts and some video series. Short in 2013. Just want to make sure I don't want to misquote him. Yeah, this is his feature debut.
Oh, nice.
Feature debut. And for a debut, I feel like he definitely bit off a lot with this one because this film is working on working on a number of different levels. And it's a ghost story, but it's not a ghost story. And it's got some kind of different twists and turns going on in it that I didn't actually, I went into this not knowing much about it, just the basics. And so it wasn't what I expected. Is this one you had heard a lot about, or were you super familiar, or did it look interesting, or?
I went through the list and of like stuff that I hadn't seen, and then if it's a generic title, I'll look a little more into it, and I'm like, okay, that description doesn't tell me anything, so on the list it goes. So that's it. That was the whole process. Like, maybe it'll turn out good, maybe it'll be an interesting thing. And for honestly, like 3/4 of this movie, I wasn't sure if it was going to be an interesting thing. No spoilers. That's not how I think of the overall film. So I'm not giving that away, but I will say halfway through this, I'm like, this better be getting somewhere.
All right.
But that's the thing, because it's about a relationship between two people. You get that from the trailer, right? And the relationship kind of goes up and down, and it doesn't feel like it's ever going to resolve. That's all I wanted to. That's what I mean. Like, I didn't know where either of them wanted to go with it.
Okay.
So I'm not shitting on it yet.
Nope.
I just wanted to say.
All right. This film is driven by lead actress Blue Hunt, who plays Alex. She was Danny in The New Mutants, which is probably where most people would recognize her. Well, I mean, actually, that movie didn't do that great. So
I saw that.
I definitely saw it. I don't really remember about it, but I knew I recognized her, so I had to look it up. But that's kind of what
I only remember Magic. Let me see. I'll look her up and I'll see if I can remember who she was. Oh yeah, she was one of the 5 plain-looking mutants in The New Mutants.
She was the one that was not Anya Taylor-Joy.
Or Maisie Williams.
Oh, she was in that too. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. And Charlie Heaton. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
It's
not a
been
female
while.
though. I was just like saying.
No, I'm just reading the names now because that's where I went.
All right. So The Dead Thing is the story of Alex. She is a 20-something girl living in LA trying to figure out her life. She has a job that she works late nights at, doing scanning of documents and different things. I think there's maybe some 3D printing involved, just like all kinds of just like random stuff. It's a dead end job, but she's trying to figure out what she's doing. She's living with a friend who's essentially footing the bill for her until she figures out what she's going to do. And there's kind of one of those classic, like, I'm just doing it until I figure out, what I'm going to do with my life. And the guy's like, well, how long? He's like, oh, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. But Alex is, she's out on the prowl for men. She is definitely enjoying her sexuality. She is definitely a sex positive person who just is looking for a good time, whether it be physical or emotional. It's not necessarily a thing that she's worried about, but she's out there, and we know this because she's on a Tinder-like app that she is meeting different men at and having relations with them, and then realizing that that's really all. She doesn't really want to have anything more than a physical relationship. Because we see through text messages, there's a lot of guys chasing her around, being like, "Oh, we should get back together. We should talk.
Mm-hmm.
We should hang out." And she's just not interested. She's not even replying really to most of these guys.
Yeah.
Until she meets, what was his name? Mark? No.
Tyler.
Kyle.
Taylor.
Kyle.
I would have got there eventually.
Yeah, until she meets Kyle, she comes across him. He's a very handsome, chiseled, cis white male. And she's enthralled by his look, and she's enthralled by his picture because his profile picture, he's like holding a cat. And so she's like, all right. So she meets this guy. They go out. They have a good time. They come back. They do the love making, and then they have some conversation. And she makes a connection with this guy that she hasn't made with the other guy. With all the other guys she's been with. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's kind of weird. He's kind of he's quiet, and he doesn't say much.
He's vague. He's
very
very
vague. Yeah. Like she finds out where he works. He works at a coffee shop in town. But as they're leaving, she's got to go to work or whatever on that after that first date and soiree, and he tells her, he's like, I like you. And she's like, yeah, I like you too. So, let's get together again or whatever. So she goes off, she takes her Uber to work, and he walks off. And she starts, sending him text messages, and he doesn't reply.
Right.
And he leaves her on red, because all of them, they do a lot of the communication through showing you the messages that are being put on her phone by, text message or SMS or whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
And she's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, she's like, this,
How dare this person do the thing I do to everyone else?
yeah. I mean, and here's the thing is, like, a lot of this stuff in this film is very much shown to you to be like, you're getting some of your own medicine. Like, this is,
Yeah.
she's not
I mean-
portrayed in a way that you're like, oh my God, I feel so bad for her.
Yeah. I did read her character introduction a little different.
Okay.
You could see her as someone that is just extraordinarily lonely, that does not know how to fill that part in herself.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I get
she's
that.
trying to fill it with all these people, and when she gets what she wants from them, which is coincidentally how a lot of men act, she just doesn't want to see, because she's not looking for the long-term relationship. She's looking for a quick fix. It's sex or human companionship is the drug, and she can only take so much of it. Then she has to get away. So when she finally finds that one person that she's like, oh shit, I actually care and feel something way different than I ever have. This is perfect. Let's go. And then the other person is just like, That's where we are.
Okay.
I felt like she had given, he demonstrates this thing, and it confused me for a little while. Not what it was or what he was doing, but like how it related to what we find out about them, everybody in the end. Because he has this ability to persuade people with like a touch and a phrase. And is that what's working? Is that what broke through her cynicism about herself or her self-loathing because she thinks she's a failure and she wants more of that feeling and she can only get it with him? Because I cannot figure out why she would want to be with him with all of this other stuff.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a lot.
No, that's okay. No, I'm on board with that too. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
I think both are absolutely good, valid viewings of it too. Because I didn't even consider yours.
Yeah,
until you said it.
I definitely considered yours too, but it was also kind of just like she portrays that, aimless 20-something that just like doesn't even know what they want in life, that is just out there living.
But the funny thing is if this was a guy, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We would have just said, there's this lonely dude that just needs to fuck chicks.
Right. But it's also, it's portrayed in a way with her that everything is, it's all very quiet. Like she's not like a party chick. You know what I mean? Like she's not out there like hitting the raves, and like every date she has, she goes to like the local like dive bar, has a couple short conversation, and then goes and does their thing.
Yeah.
But either way, so they have separated. She's reaching out to him, and he's not responding. And she just kind of like was like, well, okay. She makes the acceptance that it's not what she thought it was.
Yeah.
So she sets up another date with another guy. But then she sees Kyle at the bar with another woman. And she's like, okay, this is weird. Yeah. And she blows off the date she's with and follows excuse me, and follows them back to this girl's apartment, and they go into her apartment.
Yeah.
So she's got a little jealous streak going there, but I think she's also kind of just like, this is weird that like he didn't respond to me at all and then showed up at the same bar.
Right.
With a different
woman
girl
that looked sort of like her.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah. More similar than different, I would say.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Similar, but not the same, but also not different.
Yeah.
So she then goes to his work and goes in and asks the girl working, hey, do you know when Kyle's working next? And the girl's like, I'm sorry. It's, I'm new. I just started. I don't really know everybody yet. And she's kind of like, oh, okay. Can I leave him a note? Because she's like, oh, you're a friend? Yeah, well, yeah, I'm friends with her. So she writes a note, leaves it for her, and then goes about her business, and then comes back and asks the girl, did Kyle get my note? And like the girl gets real weird, and like, yeah, but so I gave it to the boss. She's like, I'm really sorry, but Kyle died in an accident, a car accident or whatever. Yeah. And so now you're like, okay, so this is kind of coming together now. This guy's dead, but he's still on this app picking up girls, and not just her. And that's kind of where my issues start to come in with this of what's actually happening? Like
right. Yeah. That's a good question.
How is the app connected to his spirit or his soul? And he made a connection with this girl, but yet she sees him with another girl. And then we see he goes on a date with another girl. Mm-hmm. And this is where then he gets very violent with her and like tries to kill her. But then like he sees his reflection, and now his reflection, he's dead in the reflection. And like, so there's all these things going on. And my biggest issue is that we don't really get an explanation as to why a lot of this is happening.
True. I did draw my own conclusions, though.
Yeah, and I'm curious to hear yours before I tell mine, because there's a number of ways that this could have gone. And I know the last couple of weeks we've had a number of, and we do this all the time, where like sometimes, yes, I don't need the explaining. Yeah. Sometimes it's better. And I thought that this film was that kind of slow burn, because it looks really good. I think it's shot very well. It's got some interesting angles to it. It's got interesting color, interesting color palette they're working with.
Oh yeah.
With the exception of the lead actress, Blue Hunt, the acting is not very good. I don't think. I think she's the only one in this that really, again, she's pulling her weight, and she's definitely punching above, her weight class in this. But everyone else, just like the roommate that she lives with, that's got the broken up boyfriend that they were supposed to get married and they're not going to get married now. Like she wasn't good. The boyfriend wasn't good. It was just, she's the only one I felt like her acting was able to carry the questions that weren't getting answers for. Because like if you don't get answers to those questions, like I said, sometimes that's fine, but you need to have the other pieces in line. And I felt like she was the only piece that fit into the puzzle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
yeah,
she goes onto the app and finds him on the app, schedules another date with him and meets up, and he doesn't remember her.
Yeah.
And she's like, how do you not remember me? And this has then brought another question into me where all these other girls are meeting him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And why are they not in the same boat that she's in? Did they not make the connection? Or because she also goes to the girl's house that.
Well, if I remember right, it's only been about 7 weeks since he died.
Fairly short, yeah.
So it's not that long, and he doesn't necessarily, I would say he's not going to meet every person in that bar. So LA's huge, right? So
correct.
Lots of people. So I would say if you did had one date a night, 49.
Okay.
I'd say by about then, there would be a good chance you could run into somebody if you're always meeting in a bar or a place like that. That's not bad, I would say, statistically.
Okay.
But she's also looking for him.
Right. That's true.
Like you look for a red car when you go out and then you see 1,000 of them, but then you don't see any gray cars. But the next day you go out looking for gray cars and there's 2,000 of them. This is confirmation.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's okay. But so this is where things start to get weird because she knows that he's dead. He doesn't know that he's dead. But there's this connection that they have, and then this connection, I guess, turns to like obsession. But she's also got like these weird things where like her time, like you heard in the trailer where the guy she's working with is like, you've been gone for 9 days. You didn't call or anything, but like no time had passed for her.
Right.
So it's
that, that actually played back. They did. Okay. There were some answers to stuff, but it was just through conversation. It wasn't like a big revelation. So like she goes missing for 9 days, but also when they talk about Kyle, he had been missing for a bunch of days. And I feel, I can't pull the exact examples, but I feel like you can stitch it together, but this thing only has 5 stitches. And if you miss one of them in the dialogue, it's gonna, because I went back and listened. I went back and listened to a bunch of dialogue over again to make sure I heard. And then there are a couple things like, what was that I saw in the window? Because it was like 2 panes of glass and it was off center and you had chromatic aberration going on in the lens flare. And then the gas coming out of the swamp reflected off of the shadow of Venus. So I had to make sure I saw what I saw, and like the beat up face and everything. I forgot what my point was because I was talking about UFOs for a second there. So I think when I watch this again, I'll be able to get all the stuff I missed, because I don't understand about the getting violent with people, but I do sort of understand what had to happen for certain things to happen.
Right.
Because at first I'm like,
there needs to be some sort of hook in the story, because it's a slow burn for a 90-minute film. It's a slow burn with a lot of times where there's not a lot going on, and there's like it gets and I know it's a conscious choice for them to have the repetitive stuff of like her on the dates, and then it gets repetitive, but like
it's that's telling the story.
Right, that's part of the story.
Yeah, you're feeling what she's feeling. Yeah.
Right, but it is slow.
Yeah.
So like this is definitely one of those films, and like I kind of briefly just looked at some reviews of it, and listen, horror fans, can we stop with the fucking gatekeeping of films like this, whereas like the first thing you're gonna post in your review is all caps, "This is not a horror movie."
Well,
Dude,
define horror movie.
exactly. This is a horror movie,
It absolutely is. There's a fucking ghost in it killing people.
but it's not a horror movie because it moves too slow. And it's like, I hate to be the guy that's like, well, maybe you're not smart enough to watch it. Like,
Y'all
if
know how
that's-
slow fucking the first Halloween was?
Yeah, no, that's
Everybody
great. That's-
sucks
yeah.
that movie's dick, right?
Right, but I just don't understand that that horror movie fan mindset of like railing against everything you don't like.
Because new is bad and scary.
Or
That's
not scary because it's
nostalgia.
not
That's-
a horror movie.
That's nostalgia kicking in. I can tell you by the second Nightmare on Elm Street, I wasn't scared anymore. So
Well, there
what are we
have
going to do?
it. There we have it, Chris. Raspberry farts for everybody.
Yeah, it's just stupid. I have this article saved, and I read it every now and then because I can't find where I put it, and it's called "Horror is Not Defined by What Scares You." Why? That's why when I say if you have a movie with a vampire in it, that's a horror movie. It's a supernatural monster. It falls into the horror realm. It can be a horror comedy. If it's Leslie Nielsen, sure. But you can't say, I have a ghost drama. No, what? No. No, even the movie Ghost, it's a love story with horror elements. You got to have the horror in there because shadows drag a man to hell.
Yeah. Now, I will say that me saying this probably makes me somewhat hypocritical because I know there's definitely points that I have said this is not a horror movie.
Yeah, but you grew out of it. That's the thing.
No, I mean, I probably said it recently, but like,
Yeah, but now you've grown out of it.
yeah, since last week or whatever. But like,
That's fine. Fine.
I feel like in clarifying that, like, when people say, like, when I see reviews and people like have that as like the first thing, like, I feel like they're like, well, this movie isn't good because it's not a horror movie. You know,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
We watched that movie. Oh shit. It was the man and the woman. It was Told Out of Order. Lovely Darlings. Precious Darlings. I forget.
Oh, the movie that Scott made us like
Yeah.
berated us to watch.
Yeah. I have thought more about that movie than any other thing I have watched this year. And thinking about that movie, it's this existential feeling of, do you love someone enough? Or can you love someone enough to do what they want to do, even if it kills them?
Right.
And I just sat there probably for about 15 minutes, like, what am I going to do with this information now that I'm starting to think of things? And that's horror. That stays with you every day. If that's, if that hits for you. But the question of making other people happy at your expense or making other people miserable to make yourself happy or not knowing when to drop the facade because you don't want to disappoint that person you love them so much. That's the horror that Pennywise should come at adults with.
Right.
So horror is anything that evokes that feeling in you.
Right. Here, I found the
Fucking-
review. That review that kind of set me off. I want to read it really quickly. It's not
Yeah.
long. And I'm not
Sorry.
gonna name the person.
I've been
Nope,
waiting
it's all good.
to rail on that for a little bit.
No, it's all good. So this review starts with all caps, "This is not a horror movie. Let's get that out of the way. It's a slow burn film that really makes no sense as to why this story was ever written. I personally found it boring and pointless. Maybe that's because I'm not with the dating apps and couldn't really correlate aside from the lead just meeting and sleeping with random strangers to fill the void. The story just wasn't interesting enough for me. This should not even be labeled as a horror film because there's nothing horror about it unless you deem it horrible. I don't know, but this one did not impress me at all. I rate it 4 out of 10 stars."
That's, you know what? I'm trying to look at the positive in most things now. And you know what? Maybe the 4 goes toward the lighting and shot composition and all
Okay.
of that because that was really good. And like, I'm at the point now where I automatically, when I'm playing Marvel Rivals and I like get backed into a corner or so, or I make a really stupid move and I die, instead of getting pissed about it, I'm like, yeah, I had that coming. Or that was a really good shot. Or just anything to not get angry about stuff anymore. You know, and it's it feels different. It's interesting. Like complimenting a person that'll never hear it, but it diffuses it. It's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna respawn.
Right.
No big deal. I lose all the time anyway, but I'm good, which I don't understand. I had my kids watch a couple of matches I played. And I'm like, am I good? They're like, how are you fucking doing this? And I'm not even kidding. But anyway, I'm
All right,
getting better.
anyway, getting back to
I'm
the
getting
movie.
better. Yeah.
So as it kind of plays itself out, things get kind of jumbled into what's really happening. We think we've reached a point where we're like, we've moved on, you know, and then things kind of rear back in another way. And I don't want to give away the ending because it is a 2025 release, but
True.
the ending of this film really just, it didn't do it for me in the way that I think needed it to kind of justify what had happened before it. And I felt like the ending, I don't want to say it was a cop-out because it wasn't. It wasn't a cop-out. But
No, it's definitely, the writer had something very specific to say symbolically through most of this. And who am I to say that's not how the story actually ended?
Right. No, and this is definitely the message in this movie is I think it's about intimacy and relationships and like how hookups work into that. And like I think Elric's definitely trying to, he's got a message he's trying to put across here. And
Yeah.
though I did not particularly like this movie, there's definitely things about it that are likable, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So
Like the whole concept of that girl's pain and lifestyle, I'm out. I'm sorry. I don't know. Am I supposed to feel bad for them? Because we watch like exploitation movies all the time, and this is a form of exploitation as well. But like, is your main character worthy of the sympathy? I think is what it comes down to. Because we've had a lot of movies where the main character, let's say in the Babadook, right? The mother is just like an irredeemable shitbag the whole movie. But once you find out what's going on and how she deals with it and overcomes it, there's a grudging respect there for facing it and being a better person for your kid.
I get that, yeah.
But like the douchebags in the remake of Friday the 13th, like, hurry up. Like, hurry up and chop them up. But that's because they were assholes. In the 80s, it was because we were smoking all their dope and having all the sex with the girls that Epstein didn't catch, I guess. I don't know.
On that
I didn't do any of that.
Chris, do you recommend and what is your grade for The Dead Thing?
I am going to recommend this. I actually really like how it looks. It's because I like to be as open and honest with somebody that I'm intimate with. I can't do one night stands. It's just for a feeling, for a fleeting moment. Like it's like I can watch a movie over and over again, right? You can't like recreate that feeling, but I'd rather be with the person that makes me feel that way than have to search it out like that. So that's not my bag, baby. So that's very off-putting to me, but I'm like, okay, this is the story I'm being told, whatever, fine. We caught the main character here at the lowest point in her life, and that makes it really tough. She's just kind of a dick to everybody around her. You sort of understand why, you don't. People half say stuff. There's a lot of interpretation you need to do, and other people are better equipped than I am at it. But there's some overt stuff here that's just obvious. And I mean, it is talking about toxic relationships as well, on top of anything else like friendships between roommates and parents, and it's this girl seemed to not respect herself and didn't expect anybody else to give her any form of decency. So that's who she found, right? It's making me sad.
No, I get it.
Things making me sad.
I get it.
But I think that there for some people there may be something you get out of it. I'm gonna watch this again in a couple months, and see what a second viewing does, because I have been wrong in the past, and a second viewing has made a huge difference. It feels to me, this feels along the lines of I saw the TV Glow, where there's something being said, but I don't have that life experience, so I don't fully get it. But I can try to understand. And
Well,
honestly, that's what.
I just sent a message to Elric, and
Oh no,
told him all the shit you said. But no, I want to talk to him. Maybe we'll
you
do an interview-
recorded it.
Maybe we'll do an interview on Patreon with him. But
Just a couple of answers.
I got some questions for him.
I was yeah.
So hopefully
And
he'll get
I
back
went
to-
through.
Hopefully he'll get back to me.
I went through a lot of different guesses for what was going on. What I finally narrowed it down to was pretty much right, but it was interesting because, like I said, about vampire movies, zombie movies, take the core idea of the supernatural element and then mold it to what you need in your story, but don't lose all of the elements that make it unique. And I think that's what they did here. Because I'm not sure if we have a ghost or a poltergeist or a demon or a revenant, or there's something dead that has come back.
Something going on. Yes.
And it
All right.
may be a revenant because it can trick itself, but it can project itself, its own image into people's heads, which is interesting. And then when he sees himself, the spell's broken. I know that's fucking something that I've seen before. But that goes along with the touch on the shoulder when he says, we don't really need to talk, do we?
Right. I get you.
So there's something, and it could actually, you could have brilliantly paired these two movies together, and it could be the same monster in both.
Interesting take.
Yeah.
All right. What's
So,
your grade then?
I'm going to give it a B- because
Nice. All right.
it kept me interested, even though you don't have to like the characters. It's a plus for me. But like I had to know what happened to her at the end. I had to. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm on board with you for the most part. I think you liked it. You liked it more than I did.
It was a little surreal, which kind of played into my hands.
Yeah, I love the way it was shot. I thought it looked great. Music was good. Great color palette. Lighting looked really awesome. So like all that technical stuff for, first time feature filmmaker. I didn't have in front of me who his cinematographer was, but it looked great. I thought the lead actress, Blue, I thought she was excellent. I think Kyle was the one guy overall that I think was miscast because I didn't believe him really as a psychotic ghost or like a dude on the trail for the nookie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was monotone.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot.
very just. And I get
It could
that
play into
artistically.
it.
Yeah, but I get that
Yeah.
artistically going there.
Yeah.
Because of the character. But I don't know. Either way, but I mean, there's I'm recommending it because I definitely think there's a lot of good going on here. And not getting the finite answers that I wanted. Again, I'm guessing that was an artistic choice to make you think more, which okay, I would have liked a little bit more, but it's not, end of the world. So
Yeah, you bring your own experience into that one.
yeah, and I wasn't really on board with the ending, but if you were to ask me how I would have ended it, I don't know. So
Yeah,
that's
fair.
Kind of a moot point. So you gave it a B minus?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm B minus, borderline C plus. I think it's definitely worth your time checking out, regardless of whether you think it's a horror movie or not. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I noticed that a lot with Shudder, where any of those more elevated films that end up on Shudder, a lot of people like to shit all over them because they feel like Shudder should just be slasher movies or something.
You know what Elevated is code for?
What?
We went over the script a third time.
We rewrote it more than once.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
we rewrote it.
we rented lights. That's,
So that
I
we
mean,
could see the
that's
script.
right. That's the difference between like Midsummer and Phantasm, isn't it? Like the amount of money you have behind it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's good though.
You
but-
have more money, you have a better writer. I mean, it all plays into that.
Yeah. No, this is good.
So-
And so like it's good. Some of you will hate it.
Yeah.
And some of you will love it.
Yeah.
So don't like this is definitely one I think you should probably see for yourself. And if you don't like it, sorry, I get it.
Yeah.
But if you love it, I can see that too.
right.
So let's move on.
yeah, that's yeah.
Next up, The Damned. Another one that did a lot of festivals last year and then was released this year on Hulu. Streaming on Hulu, you can also buy it on Prime. It's on a couple of Roku ones too. So here's a trailer for The Damned.
When everyone was in bed, there was a knock at the door.
May the Lord protect you from harmful sea creatures and dangerous pirates.
Poor bastards.
We're not going to help them.
Helping those men will put all of your lives at risk, and I cannot do that.
Whatever wreckage can float, we'll stay close to them.
I've seen evil trying to get in here.
The dead can't break free if you hammer iron nails into their feet.
What happened on that ship was a terrible tragedy.
He doesn't care. I wouldn't sleep if I were you. A thing like that never stops.
It's never too late to ask for forgiveness for what we did.
It won't stop until it's taken all of us.
Keep it away! Keep it away from me!
We should not be here.
Help me! Help me!
Always more dangerous than the dead.
All right. The Damned. Directed by Thorder Paulson, who I don't know.
Me either.
Let's see here. He worked on the Netflix series The Valhalla Murders. That's it. Something
Okay.
called Brothers in 2015. So this is looks like his feature debut. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Guessing he is of Nordic descent with a name like Thordor.
Would
No,
make sense.
He doesn't. Thorder Paulson is known for The Damned and The Valhalla Murders, but he doesn't have anything else in there.
Okay.
All right. The Damned, starring Odessa Young, Joe Cole, Siobhan Finnerman, Rory McCann, and Tori Convery. Sorry. This was written by Jamie Hannigan with Thorder Paulson. 19th century widow has to make an impossible choice when during an especially cruel winter a foreign ship sinks off the coast of her Icelandic fishing village. I'm going to let you run this one.
Oh, great.
Because my head is spinning a little bit on this one, and I kind of want to see where you go with it before I start to get there.
Okay. We're thrown right in the middle of the worst fishing season in winter that these people have seen, and they appear to live in tiny, tiny Lincoln log cabins on the coast of some pond on Pluto. That's how cold it looks.
Yes. Yes.
They have huge racks for fish, but they can't for some reason that they mumbled, and I don't remember. Now, was the big guy at the head of the table our main character's husband?
No.
That's what I thought.
The main character's husband had died the previous season.
That's what I thought. But then it sort of sounded like they were treating him like he was the husband. I don't know. Anyway, so that was a little confusing. But basically,
Rory McCann, who played Ragnar, he's the head boatsman. I forget the exact term they use for him, but like he's the guy in charge, and she owns the fishing village or whatever. Her husband had died the previous year, and this guy Ragnar took over as like the lead. So like, although they weren't husband and wife, she ran the place and he was in charge. Or she owned the place and he was in charge.
Got it. That makes sense. They're going to die this winter. Let's just cut to the chase. Because they don't have any fish. And then they see a ship crash on, I believe it was called the Teeth.
Yeah.
Which is jagged rocks at the entrance to the bay they were set up in, I think is what it was. There's not a lot of overhead shots to give you there's a lot of beautiful landscape shots. But like, I never got a high up enough view to realize what we were looking at out there. Just a sinking boat. And then the next morning, what's her name?
The main girl?
Eva,
yeah.
Yeah. She finds a barrel washed up. Well, she finds a rope buried a little bit in the sand, which must have been so cold to film. Like, good for these people.
I've never seen a colder looking movie than this.
No. Even the opening scene of that elevated road in Fargo is like 5 degrees warmer than this. It's cold. So in that barrel is salted pork. And the thought of having food is very appealing to these people for some reason. So they decide they're going to risk it and they're going to go out and see if there's anything else floating because the tide generally won't bring it to them. That was a fluke. It was almost like fate was fishing for them to get them out there in a way. The way the tide works, everything else that floats would stay around the teeth. So they have to go to the most dangerous part to look for their stuff. What they find is just awful.
Yep.
More people. As the survivors of the wreck, they climbed onto the teeth because why wouldn't you? You were right there. Makes sense, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, they all turn into Andrew Lincoln in The Walking Dead. And instead of asking questions, they just die. Everybody just die. We don't have any food for your mouths. And we're not eating your weird body meat. Get out of here. And Eva ends up bashing someone in the face personally to get them off the boat. And that starts her downward mental decline. But bodies wash up on the shore after. And they are respectful enough that they have to bury them, which is the right thing to do, seeing as how you killed them, some of them. So they start talking about superstition and the Ava's pushing, we're Christians, this is what we believe, no more of that bullshit. So the bullshit coming is from the old bullshit because that's what we're disparaging, right? Yep. Jesus ain't going to come around and rip these people to shreds. Of course, we could. That would be really funny. So the one woman, she starts talking about a Draugr, which we all know from role playing games, as like a vengeful spirit tied to their grave. But physical, like it's gonna fuck you up, pretty bad. So there's ways. There's sort of like the ways you counter a vampire: put nails in its feet so it can't walk, tie its hands behind its back, that kind of thing. Turn the coffin around 3 times so it loses its sense of direction. And sure, so they don't do that. and then somebody dies. So then they go and one of the coffins is empty, and then they go and do the nails and the rope and everything to the rest of them because it's too late. So let's do it, right?
Yep.
And then they're slowly hunted to death by either madness in their own minds or a supernatural, vengeful revenant come back to kill all these people.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I remembered a lot of this one.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Yeah, not bad.
Shit.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, the thing with this film that works really well is the setting, the isolationist, world that these guys, these people are living in. It's I'm a big fan of isolation horror. Probably never done better than in The Thing. It's probably like the John Carpenter's The Thing is the best of it. And that kind of lives in this world too because of the snow and the cold and the wind. But yeah, I've never seen a movie that made me feel more cold watching it than this. It was crazy. But yeah, like they do a good job in this, especially with kind of setting your mood of not a lot's going to happen. And not a lot's going to happen, but just enough to keep you being like, okay, what's really going on here?
Yeah.
And this does a really good job of that for the majority of its runtime, I think, until you get to the last 10 minutes or so, or even maybe just the last 5 minutes. And you're kind of throwing something else, which if you're paying attention is probably you're going to see coming. And I don't want to give it away, but it works for what they're trying to do. But at the same time, I was just kind of like, that's not what I wanted.
No, but then again, I looked at the end of this, and I always remember nobody wanted the end of The Mist. That's a fucking
you're not
solid
wrong.
ending.
You're not wrong.
I'm giving that a little bit of time. It makes sense to me in a way why everybody reacted the way they did, especially one person in particular had the most reaction. Because of a story she told earlier. Oh, I gave it away. Obviously, the main character's going to have a huge reaction to something, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, surprise. Sorry about the spoilers. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm still thinking about that one. About that. I think I'm okay with it.
Sorry, I'm standing up. My back's killing me.
Because then it's not a horror movie. It's just
not a horror
psychological drama. Oh, who cares? Is it fun? That's what matters. Is it fun? Because that's what matters. Did you enjoy it?
So, this is definitely not a horror movie that you're supposed to be. It's not fun. It's not fun.
No, this is I think, in the line of Hagazusa is what we watched.
Yeah, this is definitely in that, because it's an Icelandic film, and it's definitely in that folk horror world.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit ahead of the other ones. That's all.
Just a little. Just a touch.
Well, yeah, because the others are like the 1300s, and this is
1871 is what I figured this to be, because there's a point where they show her husband's grave, and it says 1870.
Right.
So,
right.
But the things that work in this movie, I think, all work pretty well because you definitely have the isolation as a character. Eva's your main character, so you pretty much exclusively follow her through this. So every other character is only showing up when they are coming in contact with her.
Yeah.
Like, is there any scenes without her? I don't think so.
I cannot answer that question.
I don't think so. And if there was very few.
True.
So everything is told. So all of the other characters are side characters to her. They only come in when with her interactions with her. So it's it makes it even more, claustrophobic, if you will, despite being in this wilderness. And I think the effects they use on the dead bodies look really, really good. That scene where they cut the stomach open and what comes out, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's
that. You know what? I got to give the movie this is a little like a quarter of a bump up, because I like, he's alive. I'm like, nah, it's probably eels that crawled up through his butt to eat his guts.
Yep,
joking.
What up with them guts?
That's all I'm gonna say. Good looking eels. I'll say that too. That was a surprise.
That's all I'm gonna say. Oh,
yeah. No, I want to make sure I say everything I need to.
Ridiculous.
But they did the thing. Like I'm really happy with movies when I think of something that would be maybe too much for other people, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good job. And they were the nice, like, big tail flopping around, teeth. Good job.
Good job.
Gross.
Yeah, very gross. It's kind of hard to say a lot about this movie without giving stuff away, so I don't want to do that. But it's all done in a very quiet, slow burn. And again, it's really interesting that we have two films this week that are both really like slow burners, but only have like barely a 90-minute runtime.
Yeah.
And it's kind of always odd to say that because, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about Frankenstein probably next week. And that's got it's got a 2.5 hour runtime. So
okay.
Like, not to spoil my review of that, but there's some parts in that where there's could have been, some fixing. But this does a good job of slowing down, but not losing you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just I don't really have a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah, no, because it's not a huge, like, earth-shattering, we save the world kind of story. It's just personal.
Yeah.
Like, no one will ever know if that, if that happened. No one would know. They would just be lost.
Right, yeah. And which I'm sure happened all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, well, let's grade it then. All right, Chris, The Damned. You recommend it. What's your grade?
I am going to recommend it, but only know that this movie felt like it was 2.5 hours long, but it wasn't. But that's a good thing because the way that the story unfolds, it's slow and deliberate, but it doesn't feel like they're purposely delaying things or playing stuff out to me. It feels like this is the proper, we've shown you the proper amount of time this person needed to come to this decision, that kind of thing. And I'm like, that works. And I like that it was not obviously super long and convoluted with a ton of characters. And this works. The thing sets the standard for getting people, on screen and having a small cast.
Right.
And then, aliens copied it and you learn who the main people are. And it was really just one person and then sort of this one other guy for a tiny little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want like something contemplative, this is it. It's not going to scratch any kind of action itch for you at all. It might piss you off actually, if you're looking for something faster. But it looks great. It's bleak. It's got color when it needs it, which isn't very often. And they conveyed just the desolate feel of the whole place. Like my first question was, then leave. Just go. Can't you get out? But no, because the ice is that fucked them over and that's all. They can't do anything. And the nearest place is 3 days away over a mountain. So that's back when we didn't plan things, I guess.
Yeah, or at least not in case of, emergency break glass.
Yeah, yeah. But, so I'm going to give it a B.
Okay.
I think the actual location filming, like when she pulled the rope out of that sand, we've all had cold beach sand. We've all touched that, right? You and me, at least.
Yeah.
We know how gross that's going to be, covered in seaweed and cold. And it doesn't even matter what month it was because it's all the middle of January up there in this film. That's how cold it looks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, the conveying of how comfortable they are in the cold, it's just like, I'm just going to put on 6 layers and I'll be fine. And like, no one complained about it. It was just, we're going to die if we don't have this.
They didn't complain because it was what they do. It's like that was their job.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to create different jobs.
Yeah, that I agree with that.
Yeah. But so yeah, I recommend, but only knowing how deliberately slow this is going to be revealing things to you.
Yeah. But that's also what they're going for with it.
Yeah, no, this is good. This works good as a mystery. You know, is there a creature out there? Is there more than one? Is it not the thing that the woman said it was? Is it something else? Or is it nothing? Is it a bear? Who knows? Well, I do because I watched the whole thing, but
It's not a bear. Spoiler alert. It's not a bear.
other people don't know.
Not
No,
a bear.
It's two bears.
All right. So you gave it a B?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to like. The cinematography is great. Music is great. The lead actress is great. It's a very simple story at the end of the day. You know, you're given some sort of twists, but like I don't even really think they matter. And like I said, the last 5 minutes of the film, like I'm not going to say hurts it, but I don't think it necessarily, for me, at least for me personally, it wasn't really where I wanted it to go, even though I had a feeling it was where it was going.
Did you want more of a up in the air kind of thing?
Maybe this was a movie I wanted not explained.
Yeah,
Because they did a really good job of the mystery.
Yeah, it works good if you can argue both sides of it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because with the dead thing, like I wanted answers in that. This I didn't really.
Yeah.
So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, the cinematography is brilliant. Everything is shot in these like deep blues and whites and grays. So that way when there's like fire on screen, whether it's a candle or, you know, a fireplace or whatever, the fire pops that much more because everything is so cold otherwise. Really great.
And
look.
you feel it. You feel a little warmer looking
Absolutely.
at it. It's weird.
Absolutely. Which is really good. So I'm gonna go with you. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you on this one too. I'm gonna go with a B. I think it's a film with, you know, a rewatch. You can probably pick up some more things or just like get the feel. It's a great film. If you like those isolation, you know, horror films like The Shining or The Thing or
Isn't that show The Terror kind of have the same feel to it?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's
the last
what was
season
in my head,
of True Detective was like this too, because it took place way up in Alaska.
Oh,
What was it?
okay.
True Detective was Night Watch or whatever. The last season had Jodie Foster in it. It took
Oh, yeah,
place
okay.
in Alaska during the like 6 months of dark or whatever.
Right. Okay.
So, but yeah, no, it works. It works really well. And I think it's a good film, bordering on great. But I think some of you will hate it.
That's fair. Yeah.
So there you go. 2 films this week. We're not sure if you're going to like them or not.
Yeah. But that's good. Take a chance.
Which brings us to Joe and his segment for the week. And he is now on The Purge 3, which is is it election year? Is that the third one?
I think that's what, I believe that's what he said.
All right,
last
let's
time,
see what-
'cause
let's
I
see what he
can't
thought
keep
then.
track of them.
Well, hello, Bill. Hello, Chris. And hello, OTC Nation. It's your boy Joe here. And this week, Bill took me to Way to Reelsville, USA. So he made me watch
near
The
Detroit.
Purge
Yeah.
election year. Here's hoping we have elections again in this country at some point. Boy,
gonna
if
have
you
something.
thought I had a hard time not being political when I'm reviewing stuff like Leprechaun and Slumber Party Massacre, this is more on the nose than the slap I wish I could give certain speakers of certain houses.
Tiny little midget.
What's that?
Nothing.
Talk about movies that edgy conservative dickheads watched and completely missed the point on?
Superman.
I'm sorry, but Bill never made me watch Fight Club.
Sorry.
At least not that I can remember.
Nope, never did.
So I can't really. Oh, wait a minute. Of course I can. Fight Club is the obvious one, with MAGA chuds worshiping Tyler Durden because they all secretly want to gargle on his presumably sweaty man bits, even after finding out the twist and still missing the point with as much purpose as I avoid talking about the movie Fight Club.
Yep.
Hope that made sense. I was kind of in my head about that one.
I feel
I just
it.
finished
Gotcha.
Starship Troopers not too long ago, and I already made that point. There's V for Vendetta. I don't think I need to elaborate on how badly the kind of people that I hate misunderstood that movie, and even some of the people that I don't necessarily hate. I bet they all gave Alan Moore an ulcer. He seems like the kind of guy that, like, really gives a shit about that. He's a weird guy. And the big daddy of them all, Star fucking Wars. How the fuck? Let me repeat. How the fuck does an entire generation plus some make this one of the most successful franchises in history and then vote like they want the next Grand Moff Tarkin up their ass?
Because the Empire,
like, you worship
provided the
Han Solo,
education.
but if you met him in real life, you'd bark the word woke at him and call him a violent domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
You only find Princess Leia sexy, I bet, when she's dressed as a literal sex slave. And I'm sorry the Ewok agenda is being pumped into too much media for you. Too bad. Ewoks exist and they aren't going anywhere. Ewoks have always been here. They're just sick of hiding from your dumbass.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, let's watch a movie that will probably raise my blood pressure even more than it already is. So, right. After the Universal logo fades out, 20th Century Boy by T-Rex starts just blasting in my headphones. And if I'm grading this movie, like, only based off the first 45 seconds, fucking, I don't know, A-. Yet again, we're waiting for two groups of people to come together to survive the purge. One is a lady senator who is running for president, who wants to eliminate the purge for all the right reasons. At least seemingly. I don't necessarily trust these people just yet. The Purge movies will make you not trust anybody. The other is one of those right reasons, and I love that they made this very, very real. Bubba Blue from Forrest Gump is a shop owner and neighborhood sort of cornerstone. He's one of those like linchpins of the neighborhood. Who gets a call 24 hours before the purge from his insurance company, and they're quadrupling his purge insurance with only 48 hours to pay, or he loses coverage. Now, I'm not condoning killing the CEO of a major insurance company, ... but I understand. That's one of those, I didn't see nothing. I'm just over here minding my own business. I also love that there's like, young, like right-leaning foreign tourists, rich kids coming to America to purge. It's like in this movie, like we became the lazy, sleazy third world country where rich people can go to do like weird, creepy rich people things. You know what movie I want to see? I want to see a workplace buddy comedy, like the Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez vehicle Men at Work. But it's just two working class schlub garbage men cleaning up after the purge. Oof. Second side note, you know what I would do during the purge? I would find the warehouses of all of the genre movie distributors like Synapse and Arrow Video and Vinegar Syndrome and Shout Factory, Blue. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the blue one. When you guys help me out?
Blue Underground?
Something.
Blue Underground.
Yep,
that's got to be the one.
Yep.
I can't think of it right now because I didn't write it down. I just had it in my head. They all make really gorgeous 4K restorations and like really cool physical media box art, but they tend to be a bit pricey. I'm pulling up to those motherfuckers with a U-Haul, and it's going to be Joe's like Blu-ray Purgemas. They don't bury the lead here, as one of the first things we see is a big-ass table filled with the new founding fathers, which is such a great analogy that they never even needed to come close to saying the word Republican without all of us understanding who these people are.
Yep.
Their candidate is a literal Christian minister who calls the lady senator running against him a cunt. And then they mention how they can't stop the purge because otherwise they would need to spend our tax money on taking care of their constituents. Like, it's big. Boy, they really, it's only one step more subtle.
This
than
bullshit's
like a Troma
unbelievable
movie in its storytelling. Actually, I take that back. The Last Temptation of Toxie actually was probably a little more subtle than this.
Jeez.
I don't really mind that they're dialing back the, I guess, scale of the story. We're not exploring like most of the city of LA here because it fits with what they were going for. I do mind a little bit how overblown and clunky the characters and dialogue were. More on that later. At least Anthony Michael Hall understood the assignment and didn't go too big because he's not the main bad, but he's the head of a suspiciously well-funded and well-equipped neo-Nazi group hired by the new founding fathers to kidnap the lady senator, who's obviously the best choice for president.
Who's that, Gretchen
They
Whitmire?
like to hole up in a church on Purge night and do what ultra-religious people do best.
Fuck children.
Make a goddamn ceremony out of something that doesn't need to be a goddamn ceremony.
So everything.
Unlike real life, this movie had a happy ending. And there's a lot more I could say, but I'm not trying to depress myself here today.
Fair.
I would like to point out the prescience, or perhaps maybe bad influence this movie might have had on people who are easily influenced by appealing to their lizard brain. This movie was made in 2016, 5 years before January 6th, 2021. At the end of this movie, when the good guy becomes president and takes away the purge, we hear a radio news broadcast stating that supporters of the new founding fathers are running wild in the streets, attacking government buildings and people randomly, and attacking police.
That's ridiculous.
These people
Never
who
happened.
make me want to use an insult I haven't used since the 90s that starts with an R
Yeah.
might have
gotcha.
just, okay, only... They might have used a just okay, only sort of good sequel to a just okay, only sort of good movie franchise as inspiration for their heinous bullshit. As a Michigander, I kind of hope that Gretchen Whitmer becomes president next. And
There you go.
as she's taking her oath, she just straight up lifts her skirt and wipes her ass with one of his, like, too long ties that he obviously doesn't know how to tie himself because he's feeble and senile. Here's the thing before I go too far. The good. That's shot well. There's some really good violence. Like the whole like warriors, everybody's got a gimmick kind of thing, they kept to a minimum. So it made it kind of cool when they did show little bits and pieces of that. Frank Grillo is back. He was the taxi driver guy from the first movie. And I guess it clips along at a good pace. So while I didn't love it, it never bored me. And that's, for me, that's honestly like, if I had like one tipping point, boredom, that's my big thing.
Yeah.
The bad. The dialogue here is about as clunky as a 1991 Geo Metro. They devolved the bad guys into mentally deranged lunatics, which gives the real life versions of these people an out. They're not insane. They're evil. There's a big difference. There was also a group of very slight teenage girls that attack the group in the first half. Like Bubba Blue from Forrest Gump owns like a deli / bodega kind of shop. And like these girls shoplift in the beginning and he stops them. But so they come back on the purge and they're all warriors, all dressed up in like prom dresses and his car's all covered in lights. And then they just want to kill everybody. And like, I'm sorry, I don't care how batshit these little like 16-year-old girls are. I'm not scared of you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Purge election year was on par enjoyment-wise with the first film. It was fine. I didn't hate it. Didn't particularly like it. Just kind of liked it in that like sort of dismissive liking. Like, okay, that was fine. Moving on. So I don't know, C, maybe C+. Whatever I gave the first one, just tack that onto this one. I'll be back next week with The First Purge, which I was only vaguely aware that it even existed until Googling the franchise before watching the first film, and it's probably not the best sign. Still, I'll be back with that next week. So until then, be good, everyone.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. All right. Next up, Scott.
Yep.
Let's see what he's talking about this week. I'm guessing maybe Frankenstein. He didn't do Frankenstein last week, right?
I don't think so. No, no, I don't know. Fuck, I don't remember this morning, so.
Well, all right, let's see then.
Are you excited for a new holy shit segment?
I just feel like 17 years into the show, like, whatever. Who cares?
That's the spirit.
Buckle in. I think this is a really long one.
Okay. I may lean back at some point.
That's fair.
Holy shit.
With Reverend Scott.
things don't go the way they want them to when they're oh, shut up.
Hey there, Bill and Chris, and you know who I am.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Fine, this is Reverend Scott. And this week I'm here to discuss an action, sci-fi, quasi-horror movie that exists on the backs of two huge R-rated franchises. And this one is PG-13.
PG-13 horror movies made for teenagers to make out to on a Friday night in the theater.
But I put aside my preconceived notions and bravely trekked into the IMAX theater to watch Predator Badlands.
Yeah, me too.
No, you didn't. Predator Badlands is the 9th movie in the Predator franchise and the 3rd Predator movie by Dan Trachtenberg. And speaking of preconceived notions, this is the dude that brought us one of the best Predator sequels ever, Prey, as well as Killer of Killers, an amazing animated Predator film. This dude has a lot to live up to, not to mention the fact this is the first of his Predator films to make it into the theater. I remember when I saw the trailer for Prey and I got really excited to see that in the theater, only to find out that it was only going to be on Hulu.
Which was weird. I didn't expect that.
Predator Badlands does something a little bit different. It tells the story from the point of view of the Predator. Dek is our lead, not the hidden antagonist like you've seen before. He's played by, here we go, Demetrius Schuster Kulamananangi, I guess. I don't know. But he's what his own father calls the runt of the clan. And similar to maybe the Klingons in Star Trek, honor and strength matter above all else in this world of Predator people. Only Dek's older brother Quay seems to actually believe in Dek and thinks he's worthy of having his own hunt to prove his worth as a Yautja. I know it sounds shitty to have to prove your own worth to even continue to be allowed to be alive by your own parents, but that's their culture.
Fuck them.
After a traumatizing interaction between Dek, his brother, and his very large, intimidating father, Dek ends up on his brother's ship alone and flying off to eventually crash land on a planet called Genna, aka the Death Planet. Sounds quaint. Dek has decided that the one creature that has eluded and killed all previous attempts to hunt by other predators is the only thing that will prove to his father that he deserves to be a true member of their Yautja clan, and he's not just the runt that his dad thinks he is. It is a beast called the Kalisk, and is believed to be unkillable. On top of that, everything on the planet it lives on also wants to kill you. So that's fun.
Planet Australia.
And I'm not talking like some big mosquitoes and an alligator in the water or some shit. I'm talking like crazy ass creatures that are better placed in your fucking nightmares, attacking you from all angles at all times of the day. Even the fucking plants will fucking kill you. And because Dek hasn't yet proved himself in the clan and crash landed in the ship that really wasn't his own, he doesn't really have all of the cool tech that you typically associate with the Predator available to him. He can't just cloak himself or use his shoulder cannon to blast everything, although he does have a cool energy sword of sorts that he puts to great use. And look, I get it. You may hear he doesn't have all the cool tech stuff you expected, and you may already be saying,
God, I don't think I want to watch that.
But just bear with me here. God damn it.
Sorry.
So Dek eventually finds himself in a field of plants with toxin-covered barbs, and if disturbed, they shoot them out in all directions. And as if that weren't bad enough, there's a pterodactyl-looking fucking thing in the sky looking to have Dek as a snack. And that thing is dropping rocks near Dek on purpose to try and set these plants off so they'll shoot those barbs into him and he'll get all fucking paralyzed and he can eat Dek easily. That's when Dek hears a voice in the distance, the voice of Thea, played by Elle Fanning, Dakota Fanning's younger sister. She's half a Weyland-Yutani synthetic that's nearby, and she needs help on her own. She's been cut in half, but, she's still good because, she's a synthetic. She's just a little bit shorter. She alters her voice so anyone hearing her hears her in their own native tongue. We hear English, of course, but Dec hears his Yautja speak. It's a cool way to not only hear him talk in his native tongue, a language created solely for this film by the same man that created the Na'vi language in Avatar, but explain why he understands her despite it sounding like she's speaking English. Dec is resistant to help at first. He wants to do this all on his own, but at the same time, he's succumbing to that toxin and soon may be eaten. So he lets Thea help. It's a necessary evil.
You know, it is kind of what it is.
She says she's lost her legs in a fight with the Kalisk, that same beast that he's hunting. So she'll lead him to the lair so she can retrieve her legs and then he can kill it to get his trophy. Everybody wins. So he straps her to his back and they set off on their adventure through the most dangerous planet in the known universe together. So now we know Weyland Yutani is on this planet, and Thea is probably not the only synthetic. We eventually find this out for sure. Plus, she wants to find her quote-unquote sister, Tessa. She vows to find her when she goes to find her legs. Dec and the audience both want to know why Weyland Yutani even cares about this planet, but Thea just keeps that info close to her chest, at least at first. We're later introduced to a little creature that Thea nicknames Bud. It kind of looks like an alien French bulldog, and the trio works together to fight against the Weyland Yutani synths still on this planet, as well as the creatures that are constantly attacking them, and they try and help Dec get to his goal of killing the Kalisk beast. Here's where I have to kind of stop talking about the specifics of the story. I don't want to get into some of the revelations Dec has based on what he finds out. I don't want to get into why Weyland Yutani was there in the first place. You do find out, but at first, it's very mysterious.
For reasons, I guess.
Yeah, reasons is a good way to put that, yeah.
Yeah, because there's reasons for it. We're just not told what they are.
There is some masterful setup and payoff with various equipment and weapons and story elements and characters and such. But rest assured, there's a very detailed plan that Weyland Yutani has, and that directly connects with Dec and Thea. What's great about this story is that Dec starts out using Thea as a tool, even calling her that to her face. He saw this as a trial that is for him and him alone, but later altering his perception of what his goals really are and what it really means to be a warrior and have a clan. This is a movie with a predator as the main character, and he has a real character arc. How insane is that?
I don't know. No, not for me.
Well, then I'm sure Blumhouse has something coming up that you'll like much better, because this was handled so well. This keeps the trio of the central characters of Dec, Thea, and Bud at the forefront and keep the threat that they face obvious, and they slowly reveal that threat's true intentions.
They definitely don't muddy it down by bringing in too much.
Predator Badlands sets up and pays off so many aspects that it's satisfying in a way that I can't even explain. And the action in this is so well choreographed and filmed, it's an absolute joy to see on the screen. Remember my worries about a PG-13 Predator film? Well, Dan Trachtenberg must have thought about that long and hard.
That's what she said.
And he realized the best loophole in the whole rating system. If violence is happening against a non-human, like a synthetic, or a made-up creature that's alien, not a real animal, there's virtually no limit to the amount of... Are you excited for a new holy shit segment?
I just feel like 17 years into the show, like that, whatever. Who cares?
That's the spirit.
Did it restart?
Yeah, that's why it seems so long. Oh. And I think they actually work it all in pretty good. It feels pretty...
Creature that's alien, not a real animal.
Fixed it.
There's virtually no limit to the amount of violence and
23 minutes.
blood and gore that you can show and still keep it PG-13. There's no actual humans or real animals in this movie, so everything can happen, and it usually does. There's some sequences that are done in a way that I've pretty much never seen before, and it makes me want to go see this again like right now. And the way this movie blends the Predator and Alien worlds and takes the story places I never really expected was just masterfully done.
And I think they actually work it all in pretty good. It feels pretty legit.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I just can't really tell you more about it.
I don't want to spoil it because it is a new film.
Elle Fanning does a lot of the heavy lifting on the dialogue department and is so endearing and a joy to watch. This feels like, I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy, but with a Predator instead of Star-Lord. It has the comedy, action, and emotional background to support a character that grows during the story and rewards you in the end, giving you characters that were interesting on their own but are far more entertaining when they work together. The look of this film, the characters, the areas of the world, they change as they go through and they're all kind of unique. The different creatures, the story, the acting, the action, everything is just so well done. As much as I liked Prey and Killer of Killers, I think Predator Badlands is the best of the three. I highly recommend it. In fact, I command you to go see it. And I give it a straight A.
You have got to be fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding. This is the most lore that they've ever shown for a Predator in anything. I know that we've seen some things, say like at the end of Predator 2, and you can kind of assume some things from that, but this really dives into a lot of the things that you never really knew for 100%, unless maybe you read some comic books or some shit. Okay, that's enough glazing of the new Predator. Let's see how you guys did on your reviews last week. Well, as far as Fear Street Prom Queen goes, it was fun to hear Chris tear into this film's period correctness or lack thereof. I remember reviewing the original trilogy of films 220 weeks ago on episode 700. I reviewed the first two, and then on 721, I did 1666. I gave 1994 a B-, 1978 a B, and I gave 1666 a B+. For whatever reason, I like that one the best. So overall, it kind of averaged out to a straight B. Sounds like Prom Queen didn't quite live up to this series, but I'm guessing they expect most of the people watching it will have birth years starting with a 2.
Which means we're not the demographic.
No, not at all.
Nope. So I give that film a C-, and the review gets a B+. Please Don't Feed the Children seemed like a hodgepodge of other horror thrown against the wall to see what sticks. It doesn't seem like something that I would really want to wet my whistle with, so I give it a D-. But the review gets a B-. All
right.
Okay, that's all I got for this week. So until the next Predator hunts his way into my heart, peace and love, guys. Holy shit with Reverend Scott. Luckily for Outside the Cinema, you included me as part of your podcast before some other show did.
You gotta lock that shit down.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, listen. So next week we're gonna do Del Toro's Frankenstein. I just don't know what we're gonna pair it with yet. So
right.
Give you guys a heads up. That's one of the shows for next week. So make sure you head over to SpectopiaArts.com to order cool clothing and trinkets from Chris. Head over to Depop, look up Horror Finds. You can order stuff there. You have access to Hoopla. Watch my new documentary, Don't Forget to Leave. It's available exclusively on Hoopla. We'll be showing some other places soon. I will keep you updated on that, but Hoopla right now is the place to check it out. Follow Chris and I on Instagram at Cthulhu, at OTC Bill. You can also follow Spectopia Arts there at Spectopia Arts, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Absolutely, yes. You just had to register.
Yep, and then at OTC Industries, at Don't Forget to Leave _doc are the other ones too. It's pretty much it, guys. I hope everyone has a good week, and we'll be back to talk to you about movies that are not horror movies next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.